Okay, I'll take the mic probably from Rahi.
Yeah. Go
It's
ahead.
fine. Okay, cool. So what Rahi was saying is basically, in other words, she was doing the inference to the best explanation. She's saying that we observe things, and from the complexity and the intelligence that you can see in these things, such as phones or human beings or universes, the best explanation by using abduction is therefore there must be an entity that caused all of these things.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so the argument is this: if you think that the argument is faulty, then you should give another explanation which is better than this
Well,
explanation.
the only
Oh,
explanation to offer is that uh, uh, creating can happen in a natural world with natural laws of physics. That's the only other alternative. What you see that's a now looks like a finished product was created through like natural processes. That's the response to it must be an agent with a god, a that and start giving a definition of something all powerful. I get it. It's an all powerful event that we are experiencing. I get it. But the only alternative is look at exactly the chemical composition, look at everything, find out how it could happen naturally, right?
I've-
So,
mm, mm.
what do you think, Phil?
Yeah, and another
Um,
problem, like if you're talking about the best inference,
Yeah.
what we
Well, the
observe
only
is things have many causes, and her example that phone has many causes, so that must be the best one, right? I don't think it's the best one, but at least from what you guys said, that sounds the best one. But you kind of say, "Oh, wait a second, no. I want to say something else, which I have never given an example for, which is, oh, there must be one entity caused everything. You even don't have an
okay.
example of it.
Mhm. Okay, my response to that would be that first of all, this is not the argument. We're arguing whether there is an independent being, right? The
uh,
necessary being. And I mean, you can make the case that there are many necessary beings, but the catch is you can kind of argue against that by just using chunking, and
using
just
what?
What?
chunking. You can
What
just
does it mean,
chunk the concept.
chunking?
I'm going to tell you. So the argument, first of all, like this is just like a big side tangent, but it's fine. So the argument against having multiple necessary beings is if these necessary beings are, let's say, first of all, they exist. Therefore, there are only like two options. The first option is that they depend on each other, which makes them not necessary because they do depend. So they are not
Mhm.
necessary.
Did you join here before and have spoken about the same topic?
I'm not sure if I spoke about the same topic, but I think
Okay,
I joined before, yeah.
okay,
But
but
probably
here's the
before a
thing:
year or something. I'm not sure.
if there are many
But I
necessary
remember you
beings
can, yeah.
in the first place, you can't say that they depend on each other.
I didn't complete my statement,
Yeah, but
if it's fine to
why
continue.
you should complete something
Okay.
when you start with something false?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't even complete my sentence.
Y- You said
you,
that if there are many necessary beings, they depend on each other. Did I hear
Or
wrong?
I didn't complete my statement. If you
right,
hear my
or
statement,
Did you
to
you can
say
that,
that
respond to
or
it.
not?
Okay, so
he's going to
so, so the, okay,
he's
so
going
the
to say either independent each one, or there is a cooperation that has to happen for the
okay,
other
cool.
alternative.
Yeah, exactly. That's the second option, right? So the first option is they depend on each other, which makes them not actually truly necessary. It's against the word necessary, basically.
False.
Or they are
False.
completely independent and
False.
identical in the attributes. There are no
False.
other options. Either they are completely independent and identical in the attributes, or they depend on each
No,
other. If they depend on each other, then they do
no,
depend, which is
no,
consent.
no, no,
Okay, why is
no,
it wrong? Go
no.
ahead.
Okay. So
Okay, why?
when you say something necessarily existing, it only means it necessarily exists. And their dependence about other things doesn't affect their existence, which they're necessarily existing. So you can't say that, oh, wait, if there are many, they depend on each other. Depend on about what? They depend about what? They exist already without depending on each other because that's what it means, necessary existence. something exists without any, cause. Their existence isn't caused by each other. They just exist. Why? Because it's necessary. They're necessary existence. What kind of dependence you're talking about here?
I mean, I'm like my argument is against the multitude of gods. So the premise itself, I already reject. But I'm just saying, for the sake of argument, this won't help the case whether God exists or not. That's my point. I mean,
That
of course,
doesn't
I'm
matter,
against
but
that.
you're
I mean,
saying
even
something
if
wrong.
even if someone, if one second, even if someone argues that there are multiple gods that are, sufficient by themselves, blah blah. When I said Chenkin, I just mean that these gods, what we're referring to them as gods here, if you kind of abstract it up, all of them are just one god in essence, right?
No,
It's just like
false.
personifications, right?
False.
Uh, what a bunch of
Oh,
nonsense.
it's like saying, oh, look, there are many humans on this planet, but no, it's just one human, man. Like just abstract them.
One human essence, one human essence.
Th-
You, you, you,
That
I
you
don't
that's
touched
accept.
on it.
Like,
He touched
wait,
on
so,
it for a moment. He said
uh,
that the whole thing is to prove a concept of God to begin with. I don't care
exactly.
about the variations. Why are you going from the natural world to the supernatural? And you think it's because of complexity. All I'm saying is take a look at reality and see if it can't create complexity. Complexity doesn't have to be brilliant, it just has to be complex. And if it works, through the power of survival, it continues on. That's it. That's our boring natural explanation.
Okay, check this out. Check this out. Do you believe in quarks?
In what?
In quarks?
Quarks?
Do you believe there are quarks with colors and up, down, bottom, blah blah blah? Do you believe in quarks? You're like a scientist, right? You
I,
believe in science as your
if I
religion.
understand you correctly, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I believe in science. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Do you believe in quarks? Do you believe there are things called quarks?
Those are the small particles, part of an atom, right? Much smaller than, right? The really
Okay,
small stuff,
exactly,
right?
exactly, exactly. Do you believe in those?
What about it?
Do you believe they do exist, as
Well,
scientists do?
they are discovered, or however science works on it, indirectly or directly. They're declaring there's such things as quarks. So
Okay,
that's how we work. We work
awesome,
one step at a time, false or positive. We keep an eye on it all the time. What's your point?
amazing, amazing. So you do believe in quarks because there is like an
Okay,
agency, which is scientists, who say that there must be something called quarks with colors, with this and that,
okay,
even though they do say clearly that it's impossible for them to observe them because of the problem of, like they can't remove them and see them because there is like the strong
yeah.
forces. So
Uh-huh.
you believe in something because someone else said so. Welcome
okay.
to
Again, I
religion.
don't know what you're
Wait a
gloss.
second. Horacio,
You're
wait a second.
ahead, Phil.
This guy
Go
is
ahead.
confusing our topic here in this room. This is not
I
Quark's
don't know what.
existence, it's God's existence. Okay, why the hell you're talking about quarks?
Yeah.
Okay, the answer to that is he claimed that why are you going to metaphysical? I'm just showing him that he believes in the same thing. If
Doesn't
you want
matter.
to give me the
It's
poison,
a
you have to
matter of
drink it.
another
It does matter.
discussion. If you create a room with the title of Quark's existence, and if Horatio joins and defends Quarks, then yeah, question him about that. But we're talking about God here.
Yeah.
We're talking about God. I mean, when he makes a claim, he must substantiate it.
Which
If he
claim?
can't, then he can't, right?
Which claim?
I'm not
He
claiming
claimed
anything. I'm
he
telling you,
he
you don't know
he
what you're
he, s-
talking about.
he said, "Don't go to the metaphysicals." That's what he said. It's
Magic. How
recorded.
about just magic? Go with magic.
I
Don't
don't
go
go
to
with magic.
magic.
I go with things you believe in. You said you believe in a quark.
Okay,
Quark isn't magic.
he's wrong.
Okay,
Well,
He's doing
why do you
something
believe
wrong.
in?
Hey. Do you know the fallacy that, oh, you also do that? Do you know that fallacy?
to quote Quay.
It's not here.
It is
No, it's
here.
not. It's not this one.
You're saying, oh, you also do
No.
the same shit. That's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's to quote K
Yeah,
or
but like
some
if
True
he has
cocaine,
it,
yeah.
if he's using the same metric, if he's using the same epistemology, then he should not critique my
I don't know what
epistemology.
I said,
epistemology you
yeah,
think
he's
I'm
wrong.
using.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
wrong.
All I'm
Let's
Okay,
move
good.
saying
on.
is, all
Okay,
I'm
good,
saying is, we
good.
don't
Okay, your
buy
friend,
into a God concept.
your
We
friend
don't
is saying you're wrong, bro.
abandon. We don't abandon
Your friend is saying
natural
you're wrong.
explanations
This guy,
and go to
this
a
guy's a
God concept.
provocator.
That's my
Your
only
friend is saying you're
position.
wrong, bro. Your
That's my
friend
only
conceded.
position.
Your friend
Provocating
conceded that you're
Nebraska.
wrong. So just say
Wrong
you're wrong
about
and just move
what?
on.
What? Tell me what I'm wrong
Doesn't
about.
matter. Doesn't matter.
You're
That's not our topic. Yeah, he's wrong, but that's another topic. We
Well, I'm
can
trying to
we're
bring it
gonna
to
thank
the
you.
discuss that,
God
Horashka.
concept.
We're gonna
What?
discuss that in the
Okay,
next room. Okay. Yeah. So
Quark
let's go back to
Schmorks.
that
I'm
topic.
talking God concept. There's no
okay,
reason to
philosopher.
go to a
Okay, wait,
God
wait,
concept.
1 second. Sorry. Well, philosopher. Okay, I respect you, man. At least like you can say things when they're wrong. Okay, that's very something
Yeah.
I don't know
commendable.
what he's
Yeah, but
mumbling
you should
about.
also understand that what you're doing is wrong because you're saying that you're doing something wrong also, and that doesn't
No,
prove
no,
anything.
I'm saying if you want to critique something without any evidence, because we're arguing in metaphysics, right? It's something you cannot argue with like science, which means that
The
if you
theorized
want to do that,
existence of quarks is not it's science. It's evidence. Indirect or
you,
direct, it's evidence. What's the
no, you
matter with
can't.
you?
They can't observe it. They
Who
can't.
cares? You don't know what
Who-
you're talking about.
Okay. No,
what's the scientific method again? Like, what's Karl Popper falsified
Run
with again?
along. I'm done with you. You have run along.
Harashka, yeah,
You're
I'm
out of
also
it.
down with both of you because that's not my topic, guys.
Well, that's why I'm dismissing it.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
Okay,
doesn't
let
know what
me.
he's talking about. So
Okay,
anyway,
it's fine.
God is the concept that we're arguing. And he thinks this is all part of how you arrive at his conclusion, Phil. He thinks that complexity must have a designer. Start with that.
Yeah, one question. What's your name, by the way? I cannot read those Chinese characters or Japanese,
Oh,
whatever.
it's samurai. Samurai.
Samurai. Okay. Samurai, do you
Yeah.
believe your god is complex?
What do you mean by complex?
You were
What do
talking
you
about complexity,
get
maybe
it?
not. I have never spoken
Get
about
it?
complexity here. You always
I'm just like,
guys
what
bring
do you mean by complex in that context?
in. I'm
Same to
using
you
it
and
in the
me.
same context that you were using.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an equivocation fallacy.
Equivocation
This
policy.
is why I don't know what he's
You're
doing, Phil.
equivocating. You're equivocating.
I,
The word
I, I'm
complexity that
I'm
I used
using a
before is not the
word the way
same
that
as
you're
complexity that you're
using,
trying to use now.
and you
This
call it a
guy's strung.
fallacy. Hey, Dubfreak, welcome.
This guy is
Do you know?
strung out on this shit.
Do you know what equivocation? Do you know what equivocation fallacy is?
I know, and there's no any equivocation fallacy here. Don't worry.
The equivocation fallacy here is that you use the word complexity in God, and you're trying to, just use the same word complexity in the meaning of the context that I used it in before, which is not the
Okay,
same context.
It is
complexity
the
is
same,
complexity.
actually. Yeah, really.
Like, what is complexity in this context? What do you mean by complexity?
I mean the same thing that you
Multifaceted,
mean.
multi attributes. There's a lot going on. There, you can list a lot of things going on. That's complexity.
Yeah, and I believe
Okay.
your God has that
If,
same thing.
okay. Cool. If that's the definition in that sense, yeah, sure,
Don't your God has multiple attributes?
sure,
Yeah, and to me it's complex.
sure. And if that's the definition of complex, yeah, sure.
What's the
Okay,
definition of
so
complexity then? I thought we were using the
Well,
same language. You're claiming that you have a different definition. You should teach us what does it mean complexity.
I mean, it depends on what you're saying. Like, for example, if you say that the PC is complex, like
Wait,
the physical
complexity
computer,
depends on things. Like, give me one
my
example
friend,
of a thing which is not complex according to your understanding, so that I can understand what is complex in your mind and what is not.
it depends on the context. The word complex can have different meanings, in different contexts. Let me just give you an
Oh,
example so it
really?
becomes clear. So, for example, if you say that, if you say, for example, that a physical computer is complex, maybe you're referring to the fact that it has many parts, right? In that context, it has many parts, RAM, etc. It's like this and that. Maybe that's why it's complex. Maybe it's complex because it has many, like you need
functions.
exhaustive like basis of knowledge to understand something. Like you go study, I'm not sure, category theory, topology in math, you need
Get
like to know linear
get to the
algebra. It's like
point.
very complex topic. So the word complex depends on the
Wait.
context.
Stop. So you see, like,
Uh,
you're the one who is committing the fucking fallacy that you were complaining. So you're using the word complex as hard. Yeah, there are hard topics in maths. We know that, but you shouldn't use the word complex when you want to say something is hard to understand. Okay?
It depends on the context.
No, it's like it depends on the word. What does it mean? So now you're using a word in a different meaning. Then you cannot say, oh, but it has a lot of meanings. No, you can't do that.
Do you understand that the
Hard
words
means hard.
attain their meaning from the context? Have you ever heard of Wittgenstein's game?
You are using the word in a different meaning.
Exactly, like the words do have different meanings dependent on the context.
Yeah, but in your context, it means it's hard to understand. That's all.
Uh, no, no. In the first context,
And
in the
why it's
first
hard to understand? Because
context,
there are
what
a lot of parts in that subject. Again, it's the same meaning, like made of different parts.
it's not necessary because in
It
this
is
example of
necessary.
God, God is not made up of parts, but yet you can use the word complex. You see,
Sure.
so
That's
it depends on
yeah.
the meaning. Yeah,
That's you
Sure.
talking about your God, right?
it's our God, but
Yeah,
any
it's
word.
you talking about whosever God it is. That's you talking about it, right?
Sure, I'm not sure
And
what you mean by
how
that, but yeah, sure.
interesting that is. Where are you getting all this?
I'm getting it in the same way you believe in quarks.
Go ahead, tell me your way. How are
I'm
you
going to
getting it? Try
I'm, I'm
again. Try again.
I'm going to tell you. I just look at the universe and I see all of these things, beauty, DNA, physics, math, everything. Like everything is very ordered,
Oh,
everything is so good. And I just do by abduction. I observe what's the best explanation. There must be a cause. If you have another explanation, I would love to hear
Well,
it
I'll,
and we
I'll
can
give you
discuss it.
another view. What
Please.
I see when I look out into in the universe is a whole
Okay.
bunch of dead matter out there hanging out in the sky, in space. And what I see here is a horror show of suffering, needless suffering. This is not a design. This is just a happening. This is what's happening. It's not a design. If you look at the earth and keep telling me it's beautiful when there's so much suffering going on, and including animals, including us, not just us, animals.
that's so
This is not a
beautiful.
design.
It's so beautiful.
That's all
He's
happening.
only focusing the good parts, but let's accept it's very good. Like the universe is so beautiful, so good.
No,
What do
it
you think
is what
about
it
your
is.
God? What do you
It
think
is
about
what
your
it
God?
is.
Your God isn't so good and so beautiful.
By the way, yeah, sorry, like just a side tangent. I can speak about good and bad, but you can't because you have no objective morality.
Doesn't
You're
matter.
It's
only
got it.
going.
Doesn't matter.
Got
It
it.
does matter.
I was not
It
talking
only,
about in the moral sense. Like I'm using the word the
yeah,
way
you
that you're
mentioned moral.
using. Okay, so no,
Mhm.
don't behave like you have the copyrights of fucking words in the dictionary. Okay, so don't you think that your God is so
Like,
good
why
and
are you angry,
beautiful?
bro? Like, why are you angry? I'm just like, fine.
Okay,
We're just talking.
because you're
Yeah, please.
bullshitting. That's fine, and you're
It's
not
fine. It's
answering
fine. If
any
you get angry,
question
it's fine.
here. Do you think your
Mm.
God is so good and beautiful?
Yeah, my God is beautiful and merciful. I love my God.
Okay, so
Okay.
you said similar things about the universe, and you said therefore it needs a creator. So why the hell you don't think the same thing about your God? Your God is also so good, so beautiful, so precise. So it must have a
Well,
creator also, right?
okay, one second, one second. When I said that the universe is good and beautiful, I didn't mean it in like a descriptive manner in the sense, oh, look, the scenery is good. I didn't mean that. I mean, it's
What did you
indeed
mean?
that, but it's indeed beautiful, etc. But what I'm saying is, it's because of the intelligence that you can see in,
No, you
the
don't see
creation.
intelligence in God also.
What do you mean by seeing intelligence in God? I can't see God. What do you mean by seeing
So
God?
you're saying that God is not intelligent?
How do you see God?
Are you
You
saying
can.
that God doesn't have any intelligence?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that you cannot see
Are you
God
saying
in the
that
same
God
way as
doesn't
seeing
have
nature.
intelligence?
God is intelligent. Yes.
Okay. So universe
God is
has
God is
intelligence too. So
God
but
is intelligent.
universe needs a creator for its intelligence, but God doesn't need a creator for its intelligence. How come? Can you
God
explain
is
that?
intelligent. It's not intelligence. Focus with the English. God
Doesn't
is
matter.
intelligent. The
Okay.
universe has intelligence. Focus. It's not the universe is intelligent.
Okay.
Focus.
God intelligent means God has intelligence, right?
No.
No.
It's English. It's English. God
Yeah,
is
it's
intelligent. The
it's
universe has
English.
intelligence.
Okay,
Doesn't mean that
universe has
the universe is
intelligence, but
intelligent.
it's not intelligent. Okay, no problem with that. So,
It's
but
English.
God,
It's just English. Yeah.
so God doesn't have intelligence, but it's intelligent.
Yeah. Yeah. God is intelligent. Yes.
Okay, do you think we have intelligence or we are just intelligent?
We have intelligence.
We have intelligence, but we are not intelligent?
Okay. When you say we are intelligent, this word intelligent is not the same word when you say God is intelligent.
Oh my fucking god.
It's equivocated. Yep.
No, it's not.
He's making God to
It's
be the
not. When it
source of
comes to
everything,
God, you just
including.
forget about all the meanings of the words that we know.
No, we're
You're
using
playing the
English as a
dumb one
medium to
when it
understand
comes
each
to your
other, right?
God. So we are intelligent and we have intelligence. That's your statement, right? And you have seen the problem. You're very clever, by the way. I appreciate that, but you shouldn't use it in the bad faith. So
I
we are
mean, look,
intelligent,
my
and at the
brother,
same time we have
my brother in
intelligence.
humanity.
We have intelligence.
Okay.
So your God is
Always.
intelligent, and it might have intelligence too.
Hmm. Okay.
How can you claim that your God doesn't have intelligence?
Okay.
Because he
Are you
is
are you done?
intelligence. His point is he is intelligence. He's the source of everything.
There you go.
That's his point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
that
my
doesn't
claim.
mean he cannot have intelligence because, like,
And
intelligence.
the rest is semantical, Phil. The
eh,
point he's making God as the starting point of everything you could possibly say. That's his position.
Okay, so
God
what's your
first,
position, guys? I'm
everything
just like
else
wondering.
later.
Yeah,
And
like what's your position?
I want to question your perceptions of beauty or whatever you want to call it. The natural world is a violent, uh, inhospitable place, and here on Earth we do the same kind of crap. I don't get why you think there's a design going on other than a natural mayhem type of evolution, which is just what this is mayhem,
Okay,
killing,
so okay.
exploiting, uh, fighting. This is what we do. This is our nature from single cell all the way up.
Yeah, I think like your question and my answer will be just subjective because they say man is the product of his environment. I don't really see the world as violent as you're describing it. I understand that it may seem bad and mayhem and everything, but it's just there is beauty and you can see it if you have like a field and you're working in it. Sometimes you get just like this moment and you say, how the hell is this so good? I mean, if you didn't have it before, I'm sorry for you, but it's just when you're studying and you see like the
Samurai,
link and how ordered,
samurai,
it's
samurai.
just you have that.
Our capabilities are the beautiful thing. I would agree. There is beauty, but it's in our capabilities. That's how I see it.
Okay, so what's your position, by the way? So I gave you a possible
My
explanation. What's your
position is
explanation?
to try to do the most appropriately best thing every time you engage in anything. That's my position.
It's fine. It's fine. Like my point is, from where did the universe come from? Like, what's your
I don't worry
explanation?
about and in the end I don't end up worrying about that. It's a natural process, according to me. So when you ask where did the universe come from, where whatever that answer is, it should be natural, according to me.
Okay, sorry. So what do you mean by natural? You mean that the universe existed like eternally? Is that your
Well,
argument?
something might have had to exist eternally. You're going to call it God. I'm going to call it maybe energy and matter, in spite of how substantial you think they are. On a very small scale, something might have always existed. I mean, we're using the same concept as your God. It existed forever. It's the same concept, but it doesn't have to be a God. It might just be natural.
Okay, so my definition of God is a necessary being. If you believe that the
Well,
universe is the necessary being, then we have
okay,
nothing to
I
argue about.
know that. I know that. I know that.
Yeah, then
Yours is the
we are in
eternal
agreement. We are
huh?
in agreement, my friend. We agree.
Agreement on what? I'm saying it's probably natural. You're saying it's godly. How are we in
No,
agreement?
no. Wait, one second, one second. When you say that the universe existed eternally, then you're saying that you're implying that the universe is the necessary existence, you can say, right? This necessary existence is what I just call God, connotate with God. You connotate with the nature or whatever. But we're actually having the same belief in that area. We believe in a creator.
Oh boy.
But
Are
you said
you?
universe is not intelligence, just there is intelligence in the universe. So it's not like
Now,
your
if
God.
he believes in it, if he believes in it,
Are
Yeah,
you
if
a
he
but you
believes
don't
it,
believe in
do
that.
you
So
have a
your God
deistic
has
outlook on God?
your God
he,
has
it's not
different
my point, bro.
properties.
I don't believe in this.
Your God has different properties than this universe. So it's not your God or it's not like your God. There's a difference.
No, no, no. Like our Islamic definition of God is the
Uh,
necessary being. When you say necessary being, it just implies other attributes, right? Like the
something
most.
was
It doesn't.
necessary. Something
It
was
doesn't.
necessary. You claim it was a being with an agency. We claim it's just natural substances interacting. That's
Okay,
what
we
we
can
say.
okay now cool. Like now we understand each other's position. So I
I would
would
hope
argue that
so.
it must be an agent, an intelligent agent. The
Hmm.
argument would be, and you can respond to it, which is if you see something intelligent like the phone, whether it has like 1 billion causes, philosopher will jump on me saying no, maybe it has 1 billion causes. It's cool. Like the point is, if it has intelligence, therefore there must be an intelligent agent that made it.
Well,
Probably
it
we
doesn't
can agree
have
on
to
it.
have intelligence to even be complex. You don't need intelligence to be complex. You don't.
Okay, is the phone intelligent? It has
Uh,
intelligence when you see like many
uh,
options.
are you
Yeah,
not? You don't believe me when I say that you can be complex without intelligence? You don't buy that? You don't believe that?
I don't, unfortunately, because everything I see that has intelligence
Ay,
is
ay,
by
ay,
definition
ay, ay, ay.
has an intelligent. Wait, is there something intelligent has intelligence that didn't have a creator or any intelligent agent behind?
It depends on how you're using intelligence, because I don't see intelligence in. Phil, go ahead. You want to say something, Phil?
No, no, no. But let's hear
Uh,
what he means by intelligence.
Sure. Intelligence is basically against randomness. I mean, sorry, like this makes no sense in just saying it like that. So my point is, if you see, for example, like Lego, you know Lego, like the game that children play and even adults, like Lego,
no.
right? Okay, Lego is
Yeah.
just like pieces, and then you put them together to make a shape of a dinosaur or something, right? Or maybe a car or something. So if I see Legos like that scattered randomly, then I know there is nothing. There is no information or something useful to see. But then when I find someone, for example, not someone, let's say I didn't see anyone, and then I found Legos in the shape of a dinosaur, I know that oh, this looks good. It has like the information of a dinosaur. Look at that shape. Look at the ear. Look at that. Oh,
Okay.
therefore there
So
must
you
be
see the
someone who came
problem.
here
You
and
see the
made the
problem.
dinosaur from the Lego.
You see the I don't think you see the problem, but do you think your God is random? Like the Lego pieces scattered all around the place? No, right?
What?
The
And your God
analogy
has
is that the Lego.
information too, right? You can't say that God is beyond information. There must be information, like that's existence, right? You don't
The
know how
analogy is that
exactly. I also don't know how exactly if your God is real, but you can't say no, there's no information in God.
I'm not sure what you're saying because the Lego here is not God. The
What
Lego
the
here is the
fuck? Like
universe
it's
in the
not clear
analogy.
what I'm saying. I'm just saying what you were saying. You're saying that there's information here because it means something, that it's not random. And it's a
Sure.
simple question. Do you think your God is random? That's all. And
So
the
what's the
answer must
analogy
be
between the
no.
Lego being random and my God being random? I don't understand. Like, what's the analogy?
I'm
Because
referring what you mean by intelligence because according to your example, it was not even definition, but it's okay. According to your example, God also has intelligence because God must have information. God cannot be random because it's something, it's doing something, it has specific properties. This cannot be random. So therefore, it has intelligence too. And according to your logic, it requires another creator.
okay, using the word random predicated on God doesn't work because God is a
Huh,
necessary being.
no, you didn't prove that the cause of this universe is a necessary being. You didn't prove that.
No. It's fine. I'm saying
No, it's
that
not
when you use
fine.
the word
It's
God,
not fine
you
because
cannot use the word
you believe that the cause of this universe is a necessary being. We don't know that.
sure.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying. Oh, sorry. No, I mean we already agreed that there is a necessary being, whether you call it nature, as our friend
No,
Horatio
you
here
didn't
says, or
assume
me,
that.
I say God. Look, We
Didn't
already laid
agree
that
on that.
down. We're arguing on
Didn't
other
agree
things now.
on that.
No, but they're not the same thing, right? Your God concept and my natural explanation are two different things.
Do you believe that the universe is necessary?
I, I don't know why you keep jumbling words around. Whatever always
What?
was, I'm suggesting whatever always was some form of energy, but I call it a natural energy, not a magical, godly, all powerful. All of a sudden, you got a bunch of words to say. I
Okay,
don't
does
buy that.
awesome, awesome. Okay, does this energy, whatever it is, like there is
Yeah.
like like there is this energy. So
Mhm.
did it come from something or
Uh,
nothing?
I don't.
Or
I would say perhaps not. That on some level there might have been something that we call energy. On some level, always. Yeah, that would be the theory.
oh, but wouldn't that be an infinite regress if you
It
just keep
doesn't. I don't care about all that. You don't abandon a process because you're having a hard time. You don't jump from the natural to the supernatural because it's difficult, and that's all you're doing. You're always an argument from ignorance. That's all the theist always is. By the way, you're Abrahamic religion, right? You're Muslim.
sure?
Oh, that's another trip. Oh my goodness. You know how much time I've spent analyzing that? But anyway, the God
Good.
concept to me is an abandoning of rationale. That's all it is. You're
Um,
abandoning the natural world and becoming magical. No.
okay, so first of all, do you understand that most of the fields do progress because of imagination,
Yeah, imagination is very,
right?
very good.
Yeah, so we do have this faculty of imagination,
Yes,
and
yes, I agree. We finally
right?
agree on something.
Yeah, so imagination. So imagining things that didn't happen or things
That's
that
what I said. Our capabilities are the key. I said
no,
that
but what's
earlier.
sorry, but what's the point of us like trying to understand what's real and what's imaginary is,
Uh-huh.
like for example, use tools, right? Like logic, etc. Does this make sense? Does this not make sense, etc. Right? So what we're saying here is when you say that you believe in supernatural, what this just means, like this word supernatural, just means that you cannot actually use the scientific method, observe, blah blah,
Okay,
reproducibility, blah blah, right?
okay.
But me and you agree that there are a billion of things that we cannot actually test, like history. History is not something you put in the lab and test. But we do believe in, I'm not sure, like invasions of like countries, like I'm not sure, like USA in Vietnam or World War, right? I didn't
Yeah,
witness it. Did you
yeah.
witness it? You didn't, right? We believe in it,
No,
right?
I
It's
witnessed it.
you witness it? That's
Witnessed
crazy.
Vietnam? Sure, I'm 73.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
crazy. I thought maybe you were like 39 or something, bro.
okay.
That's so cool. Yeah, okay, so you witnessed that. Like just things happened in the past, we didn't observe them. So in that sense, history is supernatural in that sense because
No, it's
it
not. No, it's not.
okay,
You're conflating terminology. It's not. It's not what you're saying. It's not.
but it's not scientific. We agree it's not scientific, right? History.
What? History.
History is
It
not
is. Indirect evidence is
how is it
indirect
scientific?
evidence is vital, crucial, indirect, not always direct. Indirect
Oh,
because there is cause and effect. That's how you know, that's how you look backwards by using that strategy.
let's go, bro. You're becoming a Muslim today. I'll tell you why. Because you just conceded my method. Because my method is just saying that you look at the direct and the indirect. You
Yeah.
don't need to see God directly. You
Well,
can see
we
the
agree,
effect.
though. We agree on that. That's not an argument. That's We're not arguing that. I agree.
You agree, that's the catch. But you just said before like 2 minutes that we believe in supernaturals.
Uh,
But you already believe in many supernaturals
no, I
in
don't.
this method. You
No,
do.
I
Like you
don't.
believe oh, wait, do you believe in quarks?
In what?
Quarks. You believe like in
You know,
electrons and photons, like
you're
sending
being
information.
silly. You're being silly when you take a term like quark from science and say, "Do you believe in it?" This is how they work. They establish the at least the theory that these things are real, and it's all indirect evidence. That's why I believe in indirect evidence. But I'm not going to argue about quarks You know, Phil doesn't want it. I don't blame him. The
One more
point
thing, one
is,
more thing, Harash. You could use that. So if he
all
says,
right,
"Oh, you already believe in things unseen," therefore,
yeah,
just to make
right.
one step or add one more thing in the
Well, when you
basket.
don't see something, you have to arrive at it through indirect cause and effect evidence. That's how it's done. I agree. He seems
Amazing.
to agree too.
We agree. Let's go.
Why are
Yeah.
not believing in many creators or Hindu gods or other
Well,
gods? Like you can do
yeah.
that also. You also believe in quarks, right?
Yeah, I do believe. I do
Okay,
believe in quarks. Yeah.
then you can believe in other gods too, or you can believe.
No, I don't. I
And
don't.
why?
I'm going to tell you because my definition of God. I mean, now this conversation now is heading to the point where
Again, we
we're
don't care
already
about
assuming
what you define. We don't care about your definitions, and other people have
as a
different
premise.
definitions. So what?
No, I'm just saying, bro. You asked me. You didn't ask me about other people. You asked my opinion.
Yeah,
You
I
said, "Why
asked.
don't you believe in?" Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm just
and
like,
it's
I'm just
useless. You're
responding
saying
to
that.
what
Oh,
you said.
this is how I define God.
It's not how I define God. I'm just saying that
Oh,
there is a term that we call God. We can agree on. It's what I call necessary being. Do you agree that when I say God is necessary being, or do you have another image of what God is?
Well,
Well,
that's a
if
start.
there's a God,
That's a
God can be
necessary.
a necessary being. I don't have any problem with that.
Cool. Okay, so that's the definition. It's a necessary
Yeah,
being.
but that's not enough. Like there can
Okay,
be
cool.
other
Okay, oh,
necessary beings. You ignore all of them. There's not one quark, right? There are many quarks.
okay.
You
So my
want to talk
argument
about
against,
quarks.
I mean,
So
we can
there's
talk
not
about
one
quarks,
quark.
but
There are many quarks. You don't see all of them, but you believe in them. But then you go and say, "Oh, I believe in one God because God
no,
means a necessary being." Okay, but
okay,
you're gonna ignore
I'll give you the
all other
symmetry
necessary
breaker.
beings.
I'll give you the symmetry breaker. The symmetry breaker here is that quarks are not necessary. God is necessary, so the
Doesn't
analogy
matter
doesn't
if
hold.
something is
But
necessary.
I will answer you.
You
Yeah,
can't
because
you can't say that there's
God,
only one necessary being in the existence. You
I
can't say
can say
that.
that.
You
I
cannot
can
say
say
that.
that. Like that's
No.
I can.
What's your
Yeah, I can.
evidence?
So I'm going to tell you. It's not evidence, bro. Let me tell you. So you know Al Ghazali, right? Al Ghazali. You said you studied Islam
That's,
and whatever. You know Al Ghazali, right?
when did I say that?
Not you, your friend, Horatio.
Oh,
He
you
said
want to
he
talk to
looked
him?
into Islam.
Go on, Horatio. He wants
Are
to
you
talk
talking
to you.
about Sharia or
No, no,
not?
Al Ghazali, like
Oh
the.
no, I'm not familiar with every goddamn thing about Islam. No, I'm not. But
No,
I've
this
looked into it a
this is
lot.
probably like the first like this is the first scholar you may know when you start studying about theology in Islam.
I don't
This
need
is
to
the first
study
one.
all
Doesn't
that. I
matter,
have to know the
man. Just
Quran
get to
and I
the
have to know
point.
the Hadith. That's
Anyways,
all.
anyways,
Get
it's
to the
okay.
point.
It's okay. Anyway, Ghazali has like a reasoning for this. So Al Ghazali has something called the unity of the necessary being. He argues about this, and he
Who
says that
cares?
God is necessary being, meaning he must exist and cannot not exist. Right? That's the definition of necessary.
We don't have problem
And
with that.
cool. And necessary being is complete in itself and not dependent on anything else. That's the
No
definition of
problem.
necessary again.
I also accept that.
Okay, cool. So if there are multiple gods, right? Let's just imagine this, right? There are multiple gods.
Oh my
All
God.
of these gods are necessary, correct? So all of
Yep.
them do not depend on anything, correct?
Yep. That's true. They
So they
exist necessarily. Their existence is not dependent.
amazing, good. So they cannot depend on each other, right? By definition, because they are
Wait.
necessary.
That's the part that you start not understanding the concepts. So they don't depend on each other to exist because by definition they're necessary. They necessarily
Exactly,
exist, and the
exactly.
necessity or like the necessary feature that we're talking about here is only about existence.
Sure.
They exist, doesn't matter. They don't depend on each other. For example,
No, no, no. But like,
no,
okay,
no,
cool,
no.
cool, amazing. We agree,
That's
we
all.
agree, we agree,
But
we
but
agree.
but
Yeah.
they might be depending on each other to do other things. That doesn't mean they're not necessary beings. They necessarily exist.
No,
That's all. Stop here because they don't depend on each other to exist. But that doesn't mean they cannot depend on each other for other things or to do other things. And if
Okay,
they depend on each other to do
I
other
understand.
things,
Understand.
that doesn't
Mm.
invalidate that they're necessary beings. And when we say necessary beings, it's about their existence, not other, features that they have, or future
That's a good
features.
point, Phil. That's actually a
Okay,
good point.
okay. Let me answer this point. So, okay, so we agree that they don't depend on each other for their existence. Therefore,
Right.
they are independent, completely independent, right?
In
And
existence, right.
sure, and identical in their essence, right?
Oh,
Ident-
now you're defining it further when you start talking like
no,
that.
No, sorry. I'm just repeating what he said because he
their
said in their
essence can have
existence they
their
are the
their
same,
essence. Their
right?
essence
They're the
can have
same. They are
their
independent, right?
essence
They are
can
not dependent
have
on each other. I'm just repeating
their
what
To
he said.
essence.
exist, to
Oh my god.
exist, right? Yeah.
To exist, yeah, exactly. So for them to exist and be God, they must have shared attributes, right?
No,
Because they are God.
no,
No,
and oh no,
no.
that you can't say anything beyond
Okay,
what you
it's
just
again.
said. They're necessary beings, and
Sorry,
therefore they
sorry.
exist independently. That's
What
it.
are you saying, bro? Like because they are
That's all you
God.
can say. What I'm saying
Sorry,
is
sorry.
that is all you can say.
Okay. Wait, let me complete and you understand what I'm trying to say. So because they are all God, therefore they share some attributes, like for example, being all powerful, all this, all that, like things that make God, right?
We're talking about a cartoon, and I'm listening to your explanation. Stop.
I'll give you one example, simple one, samurai. Let's imagine hypothetical objects, okay? And let's think about three of them. They are necessarily beautiful, okay? And their beauty
I have
doesn't
no idea
depend
what
on
that means.
anything. They're beautiful, and that's true necessity, okay? But
No, that doesn't.
but but
Yeah.
but
Mm.
one can have other different properties. It can be hot, and it might not be necessary, okay? And the other can be so cold, maybe it's necessary also, but it doesn't have to be. And that, like, hotness or coldness or other properties can be influenced by each other. Okay, maybe they can affect each other, but it doesn't affect their beauty. That they're beautiful by necessity. Nothing can change that. It doesn't depend on anything. But other properties are, we don't know. Like, they can have a lot of different kind of properties, and it doesn't have to be necessary.
Okay, that doesn't follow because
Why?
if you say that X is necessary and then you say that X has something that is possible and not necessary, then X by definition, this set of you call X, which is the attributes of what make X, there's something that are possible. It means X is not necessary. It's just logic.
Yeah, but again,
X,
we're talking about like
it-
the necessity of its existence. That's the part which is necessary. Okay, and why you're
no, 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 no,
saying
no.
that, oh, if other
When we
properties
say
are
God,
not necessary, then that thing is not necessary being.
exactly.
But again, you are changing the meaning of necessary existence. Necessary existence only refers to existence, not other properties. If it's existing without depending on any other thing, that means it's a necessary existence. That's all.
If you say there is an attribute of God that is not necessary, you're saying that God, to have that attribute, needs to depend on something else for that attribute to be His.
Maybe it depends. Yeah,
And
if they're multiple, maybe
okay,
they're
that's
affecting each other. Maybe other properties are depending on each other. That's also possible, but it doesn't affect the existence of them, like they necessarily existing. That's all, and still we can call them necessary existence, because why? They exist without depending on each other. But let's suppose like the three of them, okay? Two of them disappears in existence. I don't know whether it's possible or not, but let's imagine, okay?
okay.
Maybe some properties will gone, okay, for the one that stayed alone. Okay, now we have one, and it lost some properties because those properties were depending on others, but they disappeared. Then the effects also disappeared, let's say. But what remains? Its existence, because it cannot change it necessarily existing. By the way, like disappearing, that means it's not
It, it,
maybe
it,
necessary exist, but like, again, I think
exactly.
something can even disappear. Doesn't mean it was maybe it was necessarily existing at that moment. We can also say that. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is about the other properties. The other properties are not affecting just to exist. They exist, necessarily exist. That's all.
When you say we say that God is a necessary existence, it doesn't mean that he has some things that are not necessary. God, everything in God's attribute, God, everything is necessary. If God
That's
has something
fallacious.
that is
That's
composable,
fallacious because
wait, sorry, brother,
you
brother,
depend
you're
on
interrupting me.
your
You're
belief
interrupting
that
me, man.
there's only one necessary existence. If there's one, sure, all those properties they're independent.
This is what we're discussing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, but again, you start
you understand?
with an assumption, and you're building your argument on your very assumption. You believe that there must be only
Wait,
one. Sure, if
I'm
there's
not
only
saying there is
one
not.
necessary existence, all other properties are also independent and necessary because it's not
I'm
influenced by any
saying
other thing.
no, but this is by the virtue of the definition. When you say X is necessary,
I
therefore the set
understand that.
X.
I understand that it only works if there's only one necessary existence, and you don't know that whether there's only one necessary existence or not.
We're not even speaking about. Wait, sorry. When I said X is necessary, I'm not even speaking about any existence. I'm speaking about logic, Kripke logic, right? If
Yeah.
X is necessary, then everything in X is necessary. If
No,
X is,
no, false,
if X
false,
has something
false,
composable in
false,
different
false,
ways, it's
false,
not necessary.
false, false. You are defining
Okay,
X
okay, prove me wrong.
poorly.
Prove me
You're
wrong.
defining X poorly.
Prove me wrong.
When you say X is necessary, what attributes are necessary? Its existence.
No, everything in everything X has is necessary
You don't know
for
that.
for its definition.
Oh,
It's by
okay, okay.
definition.
I'm gonna ask
Okay,
you
okay, wait,
something.
one second, one
Okay.
second,
No, no, no,
one
no.
second.
Stop,
Okay, let me
stop,
explain to you.
stop,
Wait, sorry,
stop, stop.
sorry.
Let's suppose there are three things at the beginning. They exist.
I don't think you understand what
They
necessary is. Wait,
exist.
sorry, with all due
They
respect, so my friend,
they
please,
exist.
let me just give you an
They
example of
exist.
what necessary just means in a
They
different way. Okay,
exist
just for you
without
to understand.
depending on any other thing. They exist. Three of them. They will always exist without depending on each other. Like the Z, whatever it does, the X will keep
Sorry.
existing. So who cares about other properties here? And if
Okay, so
they
you're
have
saying that three objects
different
are the same?
properties, that means X is not a necessary existence, or you cannot
Wait,
say
sorry,
that it's existing necessarily.
one second, one second. You're saying that X1, X2, X3 are necessary, and X1, X2, X3 share some
No, not X
attributes
Y
and some other
X
attributes they
Y
don't?
Z.
Okay, and then what?
X
What's the
Y Z
argument?
only shares one property commonly, which is existing necessarily.
Okay.
And
And what about the
now
other
you're
attributes?
saying that X is not a necessary being.
No. What about the other attributes X1 and Y,
That
X, Y,
doesn't
Z
matter.
have? The
They
other,
can't. They
are they
can't.
necessary?
Some of them they can be necessary. Some of them they don't have to be.
I can't hear you.
Some of them
Wait,
they can be
okay.
same, okay, similar, and some
Same
others
necessary.
they
Okay.
don't have to be the same. They might have different properties because maybe they're
Necessary or not?
influencing each other.
Are they necessary, the other attributes?
Some of them they can be, and some of them they don't have to be.
Okay, there you
Maybe they
go.
have
So if,
some
uh-huh.
attributes that are able to change. Maybe those parts
If
or
they,
those
okay.
features are changing based on other beings that necessarily exist.
If they change, then they are not necessary. It's just definition. Necessary is
Okay,
basically
yeah, yeah.
it cannot
Like
be in
what is
any
not
other way.
what? Yeah,
That's
like
definition.
those changes are not necessary. No one said that. Their existence is necessary. X exists. Some properties are changing. It's okay, but they're not necessary because they're
It cannot.
changing. But their
It
existence,
cannot.
their
It cannot.
existence is the fact. They exist. It doesn't
It cannot.
change.
It cannot. This is wrong. That is
Oh
very
my god.
simple.
I think you
If the at-
intentionally
it,
don't
sorry,
want to understand.
Mhm.
no,
It's
I
only
understand
about
what you're saying.
existence.
It,
Is if
okay,
X existing without depending
like
on anything, it means it's a necessary existence.
okay, like did you complete
What
your
you don't
statement? I
understand
heard
about
everything.
that?
I understand everything you said. I'm going to respond without interruption, please. So my response to that is if this attribute is necessary for its existence or whatever, it means that it cannot be any other way. That's the definition of the word necessary. If you're saying that the attribute can exist in another, doesn't exist here, or it may be different, or maybe blah blah blah, that just means that it's not necessary.
I
It's
said
possible.
yes. It's not necessary. Like that's the part you don't understand. It's a simple thing.
So X is not necessary.
The-
It's just simple. So X is not necessary because X has something that is not necessary. If X is necessary, then
Oh my
everything
god!
in X is
I think
necessary.
he's intentionally trying to be dumb, Horatio.
Okay,
Really,
there you go. Ad hominem. Ad
really.
hominem because you can't
Yes,
answer me.
because you
There you
deserve it so far. I'm so tired, and you deserve that.
go. If
X exists. Its existence is necessary. Other properties are irrelevant. Okay.
okay, let me give you an example. Okay,
If it
if
can
X is
keep
necessary,
existing, that means it's necessary, and that's the case. Why? Because we
okay,
define it as a necessary being. It exists. Okay.
okay, can I
If
ask you something?
its
Can I ask you
color is
something?
changing, yeah, it's that means its color was not necessary because
No,
it's
it just means that.
changing. But
No, it means the object. Oh, bro.
its existence is necessary.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Bro, you don't understand what you're saying. I swear to God, bro. Like, can I ask you something? Can I ask you something? Or you just want to do a monologue? Okay, so my
I
question
want
is,
you to
if
understand
you
a
have,
simple thing.
i-
X
if
exists.
if you have a bro, like you see, like you just want to speak, you don't want to listen.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was
want to
this.
listen to you. That's true. I told you, like, I'm tired of you. That's true. At least you're saying something true. That's good.
um,
It's fine. It's your platform. You can mute me when you feel you're getting baked. But what should I do?
Getting
It's fine.
baked. Okay, that guy is
Yeah, you can
funny
stop.
too.
You can
your
substantiate
your
immediately.
initial concept, Phil, was that you introduced the idea of there being a lot of gods. He's trying to say there's only one. Either way, in reality, only one thing happened. Are there multiple gods, or is there only one? And he'll say there's only one due
Yeah,
to
there is only one.
revelation in Scripture. So
No, there's
there's
only
no.
one by definition, bro.
But
Like
it
by the
doesn't
definition
matter.
of
It doesn't
necessary.
matter. You think there's one God, right?
Yeah, one necessary
I
being.
don't have
Yeah.
a problem with that. I don't care how many gods you have. The fact that you went to the concept of God is the problem. I don't care how many you have, one or a many. Doesn't matter.
It's your side who claimed why there is only one God and not many.
No, there's
So you
no
guys do
God.
care.
My side is there's no God. You guys are talking a cartoon inside of a cartoon. Oh, we go from one to many. Who cares? The whole concept is nothing. Nothing but a human imagination, as you said earlier. Imagination. That's what it is. That's what your God is. Human imagination.
Brother, like you believe in things that happened in the past that you never saw before because
You know
someone
that
says
you're
so.
making silly
So
arguments, so don't even
no, this is the
bother.
argument.
Don't
No, this
even
is the argument.
bother. Don't
Protect
even
your
bother. Don't
protect
even
your
bother.
epistemology, man. Like at least like protect your epistemology. If you attend truth through things like these and then you say that we're imagining things, at least like have the balls to say, I'm using this and I'm fine with it. You know.
You're. There's something wrong with you. Again, you have no argument.
Okay.
Okay.
You have
Anyway,
no
yeah.
argument.
Thank you, Robin Hood,
Okay.
for the super chat again. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Let's
right,
see.
guys.
Maybe Horatio is also getting bored of our conversation. So, like, there are two guys at least who get really bored. And
Yeah, I'm
No,
bored as
I'm
well.
I'm
sorry
ready.
for
I'm
my
ready to
case,
keep duking
Horatio.
it
I
out.
made you bored. I'm sorry for that part.
No, nobody made me bored. Nobody. Oh,
Oh,
there's a little
okay, okay,
chump
okay.
left.
You may be right, by the way, when you say like you guys are talking about a cartoon in a cartoon. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah,
It's the
but
God
that's the thing.
concept I got a problem with. I don't care how many.
Okay, we have lost it.
He
Um,
keeps referring to, what we don't
no,
witness
no,
in
I don't
history
think
and
he's
all this. He's a dope.
the idiot,
He's a
and he's
dope.
just in bad faith. Like he was a very clever guy.
We
Like
are God believers because we believe in history. So it's easy to be a God believer.
no. Like
I mean,
he
he's
had
just he's not
he
good.
had the gotcha
He's not good.
moments, Horatio, and it was very clever. Like
He's
he
silly.
twisted very cleverly, and but yeah, that's just bad fate to me. But anyway.
And God forbid we ever get into Islam.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
can
not.
I can tolerate a deist in his argument for a creator. I can tolerate it, but it still makes no sense to do it,
I
to
can
actually
tolerate
believe.
anyone in good faith. Anyway, let's jump. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a long room. Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's create the new room. Ba ba bum bum. Ba 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 bum.